What's up, everybody? We are back. MGAL4 Productions already in the chat. We are back with another episode of the 10-7 MMA show. And not only are we are back from a remote location. Justin and I are actually only 5 rooms down from each other. I actually moved up. I'm at 5 numbers away from me. So I'm on the 4th floor now.
Where are you at? What room are you in?
415. I had kids stomping on my floor all last night until like 2 in the morning, and then they were going again today. I don't know who was above me when I was on the 2nd floor. I was so annoyed, but I got some sleep, not that much. It is what it is. But we are here in Great Falls, Montana for a Fusion fight card that's going down tomorrow, which we are both very excited about. It's been a while since we've done a commentating gig together, so they're always a blast. And let's go. Western in the chat says, hey, we are at a very historic time as a UFC, well, Justin UFC fighter, me as a UFC fan, in the era of MMA fighting in the UFC. We are on the precipice of the last fight card in the ESPN era, which that was a huge milestone for the UFC and for MMA in general, becoming more mainstream. But now we enter into a new era, the Paramount era, which is so crazy what's about to happen in terms of the sport now being so accessible to people. And on top of that, the White House card coming up. And on top of that, Paramount now making a bid to buy HBO and Warner Brothers, which all of this means that if this goes through, which I think it will, because I think there's some like weird politics at play that's going to ensure that Paramount gets that deal. I think that the UFC, dude, I think it's on a rocket ship, an even bigger rocket ship than I thought before. It's going to now be on this platform that is now might even maybe leapfrog Netflix. Who knows? As they purchase all the rights to this content, HBO is the best shows on the planet, in my opinion. Now they're all going to be on Paramount. Like, this is insane. Justin, did you hear? What are your thoughts on this bidding war between Paramount and Netflix?
I don't know much about it, but that's pretty insane. Anytime you put someone like Netflix in the mix, I mean, that's, I think, the premier streaming platform as of right now. I mean, I do have Hulu. Actually, I don't have Paramount, so as a UFC fan, I mean, it looks like they're going to get another subscriber from me. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk, obviously, of how big this platform is going to shoot and this and that. But I mean, until it happens, it's. I mean, it could happen, but I don't want to get excited about something then nothing come of it.
For sure. I am planning, actually, if this all goes down the way that it is intended, I may even cancel my Netflix. That's a hot take. I'm definitely waiting until we see Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, because I definitely want to see that fight. But anyways, we got some stuff to talk about. We've even got a pretty big fight tomorrow, which is Manel Kape fighting Brandon Royval. And I think if he gets this victory, it's going to lead to a title shot. So let's start off the show with good old fight news. We got a lot of kind of peripheral stories to cover today as we get to the very near of the end. And then after tomorrow, we're going to be UFC free, essentially. I believe until some point in January, there's going to be like 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I don't know if January 24th is the very first event, but I believe it is. So I think there's going to be a 6-week hiatus. And then in that time, obviously, we'll be making a lot of content on a lot of fun topics that we haven't been able to cover because there's just such a revolving cycle of news that keeps coming out. But that's going to be an exciting thing. And yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a break. So we'll see how that goes. By the way, MGAL4 Production says, what? Oh, you're going to Paul versus Joshua? Yo, did you get, how expensive were tickets and did you get good seats? I'm very curious. Let us know. That's a very interesting fight. I'd actually love to go. That's really cool. All right, let's talk about this. We got Manel Kape coming in for Brandon Royval. Now, the very interesting thing about this matchup, because it's going to be, as Justin likes to say, a striker's delight. Manel Kape coming over as a champion. I can't remember what organization he was champ of before. I'm blanking on the name. Before
Bellator?
He came to No, it wasn't Bellator. It was like one or something like that. But he's a kickboxer. He's a great striker. Brandon Royval loves to throw down. He loves to strike as well. It's going to be a really fun fight. But here's the interesting bit. Let's say Manel Kape wins, and I don't think, I'm pretty sure Pantoja is going to be out for a while. I mean, I don't really know who else could slide in. And wait, we've also got Tatsuro Taira. Okay, so that's another option.
And Kyoji Horiguchi.
Nah, but that guy, when's the last time that guy won?
He just won. He just came back to the UFC and came. I just did a video about it. Remember the Savior?
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You did. And actually, that video got a lot of views. Okay, so I guess we got a couple guys in the mix. But do you think he'd be above Taira and Manel Kape? Here, let's look at the rankings right now.
I'm not gonna say he's above, but he's definitely in the consideration. I mean, he's 8-1 in the UFC, and he was 7-1 before leaving. He came back, just won his debut. He called out Pantoja as his teammate after the fight. Pantoja gladly accepted. I mean, he's definitely in the top 5 mix, man. I mean, again, 8-1 in the UFC, won a Bellator belt, won the one championship belt, came back to the UFC, 1-0 now.
Okay, let's check out the
Brandon
rankings.
Royval is freaking. I mean, don't overlook him too. I
I
mean,
mean,
he can win that fight too. Brandon is awesome.
that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying Manel Kape has been right on the precipice. I mean, I know his ranking's a little bit lower, but he's been on the precipice. He had that last loss to Muhammad Mokaev. You're right. So Brandon Royval could pull it off. For some reason in my mind, I'm imagining Manel Kape getting the victory. But let's see. Who are you talking about? I mean, Kyoji Haraguchi. Look, I know the rankings don't mean everything, but he's a little bit further down there. I feel like the top runners right now are going to be Tyra. Brandon Moreno just lost, so that's not in the mix. Maybe if Royval gets his next victory. But the interesting thing about this, at least to me, if things play out the way that I'm imagining, Manel Kape, let's say he gets the victory, he goes in there and he does challenge Van. We got our boy, or my boy, Muhammad Mokaev still waiting in the wings. And it's kind of weird. I wonder what the UFC is going to do in that case, because the last fight that Manel Kape had against Muhammad Mokaev beat him. Mokaev's trying to get back into the UFC. So I'm very curious how all of that is going to play out. Justin, do you think that if Manel Kape gets his victory, and he does so in a very impressive fashion, beats Brandon Royval, who's ranked number 2, and now he's calling for a title shot, do you think there's any chance that that's going to pressure or nudge the UFC to get Mokaev back in the mix and to maybe give him a title shot and let him jump the line? What do you think?
Man, that's so tough to say, because, you know, Dana White is so stubborn when it comes to guys once he lets him go, because I think I think it's ego based too. Like when he cuts somebody and says he's not going to take him back, I mean, he hasn't went back on his word. I can't think of any situation in the history of the UFC that he's cut somebody and been like, all right, we're going to make ties and bring him back. I just think that the UFC likes to dick flex there and show that we don't need everybody. And I mean, Manel Kape, your boy could, what's that? Yeah, Mokaev. I mean, he could fall in that category. I mean, look at Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is like, oh man, I'll talk about coming back, and Dana White almost shows no interest to it. And man, think how big, Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, or excuse me, coming back into that. And I mean, I think it's ego based. I think it's going to be tough for the UFC to bring back. Not saying it's impossible. And I know there's a great storyline behind it, especially being cut, but Dana White doesn't like to bring those guys back.
We're going to talk about Francis a little bit later. I think it's a little bit different. By the way, Anna Kinsky MMA says, I would love to see Tyra versus Mokaev. Whoa, that'd be sick. But I think, man, if they bring Mokaev back, I think they need to give him a title shot. Me personally, and I'm going to say why right now. But the difference between Francis and Mokaev is Francis has never really spoken kindly about Dana White. He's maintained his position throughout. He just went on Ariel's show the other day, and we're going to talk about that appearance as well, because that stirred up a lot of controversy. A lot of people are saying Francis had a terrible interview, which I kind of agree. Not to say that I necessarily buy into the entire narrative surrounding Francis right now, but Mokaev is different because he's bending the knee. He's saying, look, I'm trying to do everything right. I'm trying to get more exciting. I'm working on my striking skills. He had a victory in karate combat. He just became, I think, the one champion again. He's back in that organization. He's their current champ. It's very easy to slide him back in. And apparently on a recent interview, he said that he's got a good relationship now with Hunter Campbell, and they're talking. So I think there's a possibility. Plus, the guy's so young. So I think there's a possibility that they might give him another shot. I'd love to see him slide right in and fight Joshua Van. And that'd be a huge, I think that'd be a massive title fight. Way bigger than anybody, way bigger than Manel Kape or all these other things. So I'm going to keep hope alive, and I'm going to say that this will happen, and I think this could push the hand of the UFC to bring Mokaev back. Anna Kinsky does bring up that Tyra versus Mokaev. I think that would be interesting, but I'd love to see him get right in there, get that strap, and then he can defend all day long. He's got a long time to do that. Anna Kinsky said Francis didn't even bother showing up at PFL.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Francis situation because it's pretty crazy. And Justin has, not like I'm asking Justin to share any inside information, but Justin obviously knows Francis. He trains with him at Extreme Couture. Although I believe Francis hasn't been there for quite some time, but I am curious to get Justin's thoughts. Yeah, we need Mokaev versus Van. Let's go. That's such a lit fight. I don't know if they can make that work. And I'm pretty sure Joshua Van could turn around and fight anytime he wants. Do you think Joshua Van took even the slightest bit of damage or whatnot, or is he probably ready to go in a month?
No, I don't think he probably even got bruised. A bruise anywhere. It only last 26 seconds.
Yeah, it was 26 seconds. I think they need to make that fight, man. Mokaev versus Van, it's 10 times more interesting, in my opinion. Manel Kape, you bring him in there, everybody's going to be thinking of Mokaev beating him. Brandon Royval had a title shot. Yeah, okay, if he gets the win, sure, I guess that'd be cool. I think Akira, who you mentioned, is a bit too far down in the rankings right now. Tyra would be cool. They do that fight in Japan. That's the only one that I think could hold a candle to getting Mokaev back in the UFC. But, I'm a fan of Mokaev. I want him back. And as MGAL4 Production says, Mokaev definitely beats Van. I 100% agree. Okay. that's the gist of I'd say that's the main big fight this weekend. The rest of the fights, cool. We're going to try and check them out. But as I mentioned, we're going to be commentating for Fusion this weekend. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but we're going to try and definitely watch that main fight at the end of the night. Let's move on. We got a couple more comments here. Do you think Moreno's coming back too soon? I know I saw that he wants to come back in the February event. Justin, that's a question for you. After Moreno got that loss second round,
man, it just goes on how he feels, man. But I think he's at a point in his career where he's really. I mean, I don't see Brandon Moreno ever becoming the champion. I mean, we have so many great guys in the division, and I just think Brandon Moreno's kind of on his downswing. So a lot of times when guys get on their downswings, they look to not just fight for the belt anymore. They're fighting for cool experience, and for him to headline like UFC Mexico, win or lose, would just be an incredible experience, an incredible feat for him. And again, I'm not saying that he doesn't hope to be or want to be the champion again, but a lot of times when a fighter's going to downswing, like for me, for instance, like my manager asked me like what kind of fights I want. I'm like, I don't really care about the matchup. I just care about cool things like traveling, across overseas and fighting, or fighting, at the Palms Casino, like when I did for Tough Enough most recently. I took that fight not because of the opponent, just because what an incredible experience it would be to fight at the Palms. What a historic place. That's the only reason I took that fight. And it could be a similar situation for Brandon Moreno there. He's like, man, when's the next time I'm going to be able to fight UFC Mexico main event? You know what I mean? So it could be influencing him as well.
And I know Brandon Moreno is somebody that you've trained with, and I know you've spoken very highly of him. You really like him. You like his energy. So yeah, I'm sure you have you want to see him land well and do well. And I think that
Absolutely.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But it's so tricky to answer that question of, are they coming back too soon or not? It's so like everybody's saying that now about Merab, but nobody said it before. And who knows what was going on inside their camp. I'm sure it massively depends on person to person. Then you see somebody like Salsa Boy, right? Nobody was saying he's coming back too soon, and it ended up working out for him. He went 4-1 in 2025. So I think it's really difficult to tell. The only thing I will say, going back to the Merab thing, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but Merab's coach did say when he was asked on a submission radio interview, he's like, did anything happen? Do you think he came back too soon? He goes, Merab is not the type of guy to make excuses. I don't want to say anything, but if he chooses to say something, he can. Obviously insinuating like there was some issue going on, or maybe the camps were too back-to-back or something like that. I don't know if we'll ever hear anything, because I have a feeling Merab's never going to say a word of what was going on, but I feel like there was something going on there in that specific case. Anna Kinsky says same thing happened to RDR. He was too active. Yeah, RDR came out afterwards and said he was been dealing with those cardio issues, but he just pushed through and he thought he could get it done. I mean, he did amazing round one, but then he burnt out, but he'd been dealing with that issue for some time. Many people were worried about Merab's over. Oh, were people saying it before? Okay, so I barely heard anybody saying it before, but maybe you're right, Western, and I missed that. Okay, let's get into Francis Ngannou, because this is a pretty interesting interview that happened. And let me just summarize it for you. I was going to pull up clips, but it's just so like...
Was there a Hawani interview?
Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah, it's pretty weird. It was really weird.
It's really weird. So we'll talk about some of the weird things. And then I want us to talk about the Jake Paul thing, because that's the weirdest thing. I can kind of get, when he was confronted about the Dana White allegations that he put his hands on him, he didn't say no. He could have. There is a side of me. So a lot of people were like, well, obviously he did it then, because he's not denying it. James Lynch said that on the show. He's like, you did it. You could have just said you didn't do it. I get that. There's also a part of me, though, that is thinking, look, he's been through horrendous tragedies, okay, in the last couple of years, 2 really big ones. And obviously I've never been through anything of that gravity by myself. Those were 2 horrible occurrences. But I do, as I'm getting older and I think more about like going through pain and going through recovery, like those processes are important. Every time you go through pain, you reflect. Every time you go through bad ordeals, you reflect and grow. And he may literally be at a point in his life now where he's like, yeah, I could respond. I could say things, but it doesn't matter. I know I'm just saying this is a possibility.
That's kind of what he said about it too. He's like, yeah, I could respond, but I don't need to. If you respond to every time someone accuses you, like I can't remember exactly, but something about if you respond to every time you get accused about something, it makes you X amount of person or whatever.
Yeah, and most people that live in this world, I feel like, or haven't gone through a lot of difficulties. I'm not saying like I've gone through so many, but I also, me, like, dude, I reflect a lot. I'm super into contemplating the nature of reality and the universe and things like that. And I think when you do that more, not most people don't, but when you do that more, you can reach these different levels where you're like, it's not so much tit for tat. I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to prove that I'm right all the time. You just like, let it be. It's okay. And I think he may be on a level as a possibility where this stuff he's just not going to engage, and 95% of the population just can't understand it. So they're going to say he did it, and that's why he's not responding. They're going to say he's just guilty, whereas it could be coming from this spiritual calmness. Now, that being said, Dana White doubled down with Oscar Willis and said that did happen. He kind of softened his stance a bit in that interview, saying, look, it wasn't that big of a deal, but yeah, he like touched my shirt or whatever. But like stuff like that happens all the time. Okay, so that was one thing that he mentioned. People were upset about. I just want to give that other possibility of why he wasn't just coming out and be like, no, dude, he's a liar. It never happened. He's just like, look, man, you say whatever you want about me. I'm staying centered and calm, and I'm focusing on my own spiritual growth. But the other thing that really I think is worthwhile to talk about is how he described the Jake Paul fight. Because I don't think it really made sense. And I have my theories as to why. Two theories, but one stronger one in particular. So when he's pressed a little bit, first he said, oh, it was an insult to have me fight Jake Paul. And a lot of people are saying, like, why is it such an insult? Gervonta Davis, who's an amazing boxer, was taking that fight. Yes, he's lighter, but he was taking that fight. Now Anthony Joshua, who beat Francis, is willing to take the fight. He even admitted on Ariel's show that he had an offer in hand, and it was probably a huge offer. So why did he turn it down? He didn't really give an answer. He said, yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll watch what happens. Maybe after he fights Anthony Joshua, I'll consider something like that, which was kind of bizarre to me. So I have two theories, and I want to throw them out to you. The first theory is the weaker theory. This is what MMA Guru said, and I don't buy this because I don't see Francis ever having to go on the sauce for anything because he's so genetically gifted. But he said, hey, maybe he's on. This is just what I'm quoting MMA Guru. I'm not making any allegations. But he said, hey, maybe he's on a cycle of something and he just got on it. And so he can't get off it soon enough to make the fight because it came on such short notice. And that's why he turned it down. I don't believe that, for the record. I don't believe that. But the second option is this. This is the obvious option. And this is what Jake Paul said. And I believe it, dude. I think he didn't want that fight because I think he's favored to lose. I think Jake Paul is a way better boxer. I think Francis is way bigger and way stronger, but I think Jake Paul is a way better boxer. I think we saw the skill gap when he fought Anthony Joshua. I still don't really know what happened with Tyson Fury. I really think that was a fluke. I don't think anything like that will ever happen again with a crossover with somebody coming from MMA into boxing to fight the best in the world. Like, that's insane in the same weight class. And again, he didn't win, he lost, but still he had success. He had a knockdown. And I think it was because nobody had any idea how he was boxing. I heard Tyson wasn't training, not to make too many excuses. But anyways, I think that was a total fluke event. I think what happened with Anthony Joshua was kind of what we all should have expected when you're going into a brand new sport, ping pong player going into tennis, like that's what's going to go down. And I think Jake Paul has become a serious boxer. Jake Paul is training day and night for years with the best people in the world. So Justin, let me turn it over to you. You know Francis, you've trained with him. You've seen to some extent what he's been through. You know Eric Nicksick super well, his main coach. Do you think that it's just as simple as he's not making sense because the reality is he doesn't want to admit that he thought he was going to lose to Jake Paul?
I mean, it all comes down to me, and this isn't from Francis, just my opinion, and it's risk versus reward. I mean, could Francis win the fight? He could, but could he lose as well? And if he wins, what's his reward? You know, he's going to get a big payday. He's already rich. He's already talked about he doesn't need any more money. You know, it's another big payday to essentially. I mean, what's it going to do for him? He's not going to enhance his life anymore. If he loses to Jake Paul.
Can I just jump in real quick? Because I want to challenge one thing. I do want to say what he's going to win. What he's going to win, obviously, yes, the massive payday, but the platform, that fight's going to be on Netflix. Everybody's going to see him. So I think, what do you say to that? Because I think he had a lot to gain.
Yeah, but if that same platform sees him lose.
Okay, there you go. Yes.
Come on, you want to talk about the positives. Yeah, if he wins in that platform, yeah, he goes next level. But now he loses to a YouTuber, the UFC champion, the most dangerous man in the world, loses on Netflix to a YouTuber, maybe gets knocked out early. That definitely outweighs any good platform. Because, dude, I mean, it's probably, man, Jake Paul I think he might be a favorite in that fight. I think you're right.
I think that's my point, right? So you're talking about the upside. There is a ton of upside if he wins. But the downside if he loses is pretty bad. And the reason why I think he didn't take the fight is because the downside is that big. Plus, I think he believes truly in his heart that he would probably be likely to lose that fight because Jake Paul is too skilled. Whereas with Anthony Joshua, the downside is just the same. In fact, the downside is worse. He's an Olympic level boxer. He's done all these great things. He's knocked out so many people. If he loses, it's even worse. But I think he believes that it's open and shut. Like he's definitely going to, or there's a very high probability, let's put it that way, that he's going to win. So I think we are seeing eye to eye on this. And again, this isn't me talking smack about Francis. This isn't Justin saying anything negative. Dude, Francis is not a boxer. You guys have to accept reality. Even if Justin went in and boxed or any of his teammates that are training MMA, so many things are different in boxing, mainly the stance, the way you're going to throw punches and combinations, the way you're going to protect yourself has to be modified drastically. And it's one thing to break.
Even more importantly, not to cut you off, but even more importantly is distance. It's tomatoes. I mean, it's insane the distance that people don't realize from an MMA stance to a kickboxing stance to a boxing stance. The distance if you need distance management, man, and MMA fighters are typically playing long, and then they have to jump into their shots. Where boxing, you don't have to necessarily jump into your shots because you're already close enough. And that's why people can range find so much better with their jab. And we can still range find in MMA with our jab, but it's a different distance. For instance, if I'm range finding with my jab, I'm this far away. In MMA, it's like, okay, I know I can hit you with my cross. But in boxing, my rangefinder is going to be a lot closer, and I can paw at your front jab. Because if you're pawing at a front jab, I'm not saying it's impossible, but if you are, say, I'm pawing at someone's front jab, I'm going to be getting kicked on the outside because my jab can't, my cross can land, but my jab's kind of just pawing. But definitely your kicks and knees can land as I come in. So the range is just, that's the biggest difference.
Now we've got some comments here. So Anna Kinsky, MMA, says people say Francis should have taken the fight. So that's after all of that. Do we think it's a fumble? I don't think it's a fumble because I think he knows he was going to lose, and I think it would have been a big embarrassment. Justin said he doesn't need the money, so he doesn't want to go out there and get humiliated because then any legitimacy, whether it's fair or unfair, because people still don't view Jake Paul seriously, whether it's fair or unfair, all legitimacy for him to take any fights against anybody else would be gone. They'd say Francis never had, you know what I mean? Just total nothing in boxing. So I don't think it was a fumble. And I think that's why he didn't take it. I hate to say it. Going from Disney star to boxer is unheard of. Dude, it's crazy. Now, here's the thing. People are saying Jake Paul's got major balls to take on Anthony Joshua, and it's amazing. And he's already done some good things that people just don't give him credit for. I'm one of the few that does, and am very impressed with what he's done. But if he wins, if Jake Paul beats Anthony Joshua somehow, and I'm not saying it's likely, and I'm pretty sure the odds are going to be stacked pretty heavily against him. But there's always a chance. There's always a puncher's chance. And he's got more than a puncher's chance. Yo, if he beats Anthony Joshua, dude, Justin, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in the world of combat sports?
Man, I can't even imagine, to be honest. I mean, I really can't imagine that scenario in any way, shape, or form, and I can't imagine how it will go.
Every hater of Jake Paul is going to be on YouTube doing their live stream during the fight. They're going to all be like this. They're just speechless. Nobody's going to have a word to say.
I disagree. I think everyone's going to say it's fixed. If he wins,
that's
it's
ridiculous.
Fixed. That's what everyone's going to say.
But that's dumb. Dude,
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just being devil's advocate.
It's so annoying. We talked about this so many times. Eddie Hearn came out himself, who's promoting Anthony Joshua. He's like, guys, it's illegal. Absolutely no way this is going to be fixed in any manner or fashion. I just think it's just not there. Why would Anthony Joshua want to ever even commit himself to doing that or taking that loss, like at the level that he said? He's already made a ton of money. There's no way. But I get what you're saying. You think that people might say that? Ridiculous.
I don't think it'll be fixed, but I know people will say that it will be fixed.
Okay, fine. But all the people that know that's not the case, their jaws are going to drop. Like the people that watch combat sports and they're talking about this and they're hating on Jake Paul. It's going to be so bananas. And then after that, Jake Paul's going to be fighting for a title.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, what are these clauses that I hear? And they might be rumors or not, but I've heard clauses when Jake Paul fight Tyron Woodley. They're like a non-knockout clause.
No way.
Are these real things in the contract?
No way that you would have a no knockout clause. Now, you could say in the exhibition fights or whatever, I think there was like previous exhibitions where there's not declared a winner. But no, I think those are all rumors and all BS. That's fixing a fight, dude. How can you control yourself?
Well, it's not really fixing a fight. It's just adjusting the rules. Think of what one championship did. All right, the first round it's Muay Thai, the second round it's MMA, the third round it's Muay Thai. It's just they're making their own rules. And again, I'm playing devil's advocate because there are these rumors of people saying this. I guess especially with the Tyron Woodley first fight, neither of them knocked each other out. But then I see a rumor. It's hard to tell the fake news and the real news, when everybody on social media is trying to get clicks.
It's a different thing, but it's not like a brand new rule set that would be publicly available to the commission. You're talking about something within the contract versus something that the commission is like, okay, this is how it's going to be. Plus, how can you rein in knockouts, right? Like you're hurting. Like, what are you doing? Like fighting at 50%. Now we got some comments, people saying Western says people do illegal stuff all the time though. Yeah, I mean, but you can't, that's such a blanket statement. Again, it's a risk reward. So we're talking about Anna Kinsky says, look what happened to Isaac Dulgarian. Very different scenario, right? This is a guy that doesn't have, I think there could be so much more to the story here, but when people it's a risk reward thing. These guys on these major platforms, they already have so much to lose. Why in the heck would they do something like this where they're risking, forget about financial security, they're risking their freedom to go in and do this. And also on the biggest stage, I just think there's absolutely no way that this is possible. But you're right. There's a chance that it's like a mafioso type of like shady thing, but I just don't buy it. Tehran says, I got Joshua beating Paul. I mean, I think that's like 95%. Dude, I'm rooting for Jake Paul. I'm not saying I know anything about boxing whatsoever, but I'm rooting for him because it would turn the entire world upside down. Were you going to say something, Justin? Did I cut you off?
Nope.
Okay. Hey, Pern is back in the mix. He says, evening, people, let's go. Okay, so let's keep it going. So now, we've that was meant to be more about just specifically Francis and Jake Paul, but the next topic was Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Let's just real quick give our you know what? I'm going to predict Jake Paul wins. Let's go. I'm going to throw it out there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to bet with my heart. Like,
you're going to bet with your wallet too?
Oh man, I don't think so.
He's going to take the heart. I mean, obviously I'm taking Anthony Joshua. Yeah. But hey, here, think about this. Every time I make a pick, it's usually, I'm like 0 for 4 in my last 4 picks. So hey, you're a live dog here.
It's crazy. You've been making such well-informed and thought-out picks, and then Pantosha's elbow like dislocates, which nobody saw coming, and then Merab loses to Petr Yan, who he beat 50-45 in the last fight, and then he got like, who saw that coming? Man, what props to Petr Yan is amazing.
Yeah, he's good.
I will say though, as unfortunate as it is, the way things kind of unfolded, I mean, just because we were rooting for Merab and like, it's kind of sad to see what happened with Pantoja, it does make those divisions way more interesting. I in my opinion, in terms of the potential matchups coming up. So we shall see. Tron says off topic. That guy, Lance Gibson Jr. is a beast. Oh, wait, I don't think I know who Lance Gibson Jr. Gibson about to destroy. Oh, that's the guy fighting King Green tomorrow. Okay, so we should keep an eye on this fight too. I don't know too much about him, but I'll have to do some research. Maybe I just exposed myself as a casual. Jake has no reason to fix those fights. For what, getting from no rank to no rank. I mean, I'm with you, Kern. I'm with you. Okay. So let's keep it going. Now, this is the next topic. A lot of people are saying that this is incorrect. He said there should be 8 titles on the White House card. When Dana White was asked about it, I don't think he wanted to call President Trump out and be like, what is he talking about? But he also, so he just said, hey, look, we're still trying to figure out everything. 8 title fights doesn't seem to make sense. I could see maybe 5 if you throw in a BMF in there, possibly. But 8, I just don't see it. I think one of those fights, maybe we might see a rematch of Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes might creep up on there. I have no idea, depending on how this fight goes. What do you think is going to headline this card?
I don't know, man. There's so many great matchups. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to do the heavyweights.
You think?
I think so. I really do. I don't know who, but Khamzat. I mean, I don't know if are they going to want an American champion or American fighter in the main event?
Probably, right?
And that's the thing that keeps me guessing, because I just don't know if they're going to want to dictate it to American fighters or not.
Dude, imagine if Gaethje, even though I'm rooting for Paddy Pimblett, imagine if Gaethje wins in January and then he's set up for the title and then he headlines the White House card against Ilia Topuria to get an American on the card. That could happen.
That would be awesome.
Whoa, that just blew my mind. I didn't even think about that before. We've got that as a possibility.
That would be awesome.
We also have John Jones versus Alex Pereira. John Jones coming in versus Cyril Gane after Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane eventually fight. I don't know. That could happen. Who else? What's another possibility? There's a possibility that Sean O'Malley could be back in the mix.
What about Islam and Topuria?
Dude, that's not going to happen. No, it can't happen now. Ilya hasn't even defended the belt once yet. And now he's doing this thing where he's working on his family and his relationship. He's coming back. The only shot, he's going to have to fight the winner of Gaethje versus Pimlet. And there's no way there's going to be timing, I think, to make Islam versus Ilya. But also, me as guys, let us know in the comments. What do you think? I'm not interested in Islam versus Ilya. It's a farce. Ilya's 5'4", and he's coming into the
Uh-oh, lose you?
We're back. Oh, Justin, you there?
Yeah,
oh, dude, I think my Wi-Fi connection shut down. I don't know why. Maybe it was the time that I had to restart it. So I just went back to what's it called, to my hotspot. So hopefully, let me know if it's okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, what was I saying? I said
you're just talking about
let
matchups.
us know in the comments about yeah. Okay, so we're talking about potentially Ilya versus Islam, which I don't want to see whatsoever. Is my connection okay, or is it crazy? Am I jumping in? Am I freezing?
Hit or miss. Yeah, you're freezing.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to go back onto the Wi-Fi. Give me one.
No worries.
Okay, I'm back. All right, sorry guys, this is terrible. My Wi-Fi disconnected. Let me get Justin back in the mix. All right, I'm back on the good Wi-Fi. We got a good connection. Thank you everybody for sticking around. Sorry about little technical difficulties. We're having some fun here talking about some matchups on the White House card. I'm gonna do so many videos over this break on the White House card and potential matchups. It's gonna be so fun. Would you be down? Would you be interested in a Sean O'Malley Petr Yan rematch? Maybe not lining the White House card, but possibly because it's an American. Would you be interested in that as a title fight?
Yeah, that'd be a great fight, man. And I thought Petr Yan beat him the first time, so get the rematch in there.
Really? Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
I thought he did too. So I think it's a great match, and especially with the ball Petr Yan is on right now, just beating Merab. And you got to think Petr Yan took a bunch of losses in a row or intermittently. I think he lost to Sean O'Malley, he lost to Merab. He lost to Aljamain Sterling and then got disqualified. For him to have such a resurgence now, I'd love for him to get that loss back. And I love Sean O'Malley. We love hanging out with him while we're in Montana. But from a storyline standpoint, I'd love for Petr Yan to get it back.
All right, so we 10-7. The other 10-7 is back in the mix. He says, "I'm embarrassed for you." Hey man, sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out. It's a long story. Remember, I told you guys at the beginning of the show, if you were here, I don't think many people were on, but I had to switch rooms. And I think that cut my Wi-Fi went up till 3 and then I had to reset it. Anyways, I apologize, but the premium Wi-Fi is pretty good here. Okay, then what should I get for dinner? Pizza has been good lately. I grow fighting. I say rock the pizza out. Just don't eat all the bread. It's too much gluten. Messing me up. The techie stuff went on weekend early. Okay. Western says all good now. Hold on. Tehran had some comments up here. So, and I grow fighting said just living the dream. Tehran said, Gaethje said he plans on spoiling the UFC plans again. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does want to spoil those plans. I hate to say it, but I do think Paddy's going to win. But that would be kind of interesting if we had Gaethje versus Ilya for the White House card. That'd be crazy. Anyways, all right. Enough speculation about this card. We're going to have a lot of time to do that. We got another piece of news. My boy is back in the news. Khamzat Chimaev did an interview a couple days ago with Brett Okamoto. I've had a heck of a week this week. A lot of things have been going on in my personal life. And I you know me, normally I'd immediately make a Khamzat Chimaev video if he did an interview. But unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to watch it until last night. I watched the whole thing. But let's talk about it, Justin. Khamzat says, I don't even know if he said it specifically in this interview. I can't remember. But basically, Khamzat is saying he wants to have one more fight. And then he wants to move up to light heavyweight and maybe challenge Alex Pereira, maybe challenge somebody else, but to get that double strap. Now, I made a video a year and a half ago saying that I believe that Khamzat would be the first ever triple champ. And I feel like I'm being somewhat vindicated here. He also talked about his frequency of fighting. And he's like, look, I wanted to fight on the Abu Dhabi card, but it didn't work out from the UFC side. Now I just had a foot surgery. I need another week. And then I'll be ready to go as soon as like Ramadan happens and whatnot. But he's like, I want to fight multiple times a year. He's like, it's not enough money to just fight once a year. So he's like, I want to fight multiple times a year. Now all the visa stuff is cleared up. So my first question to you is, just because I believe it 100%, do you believe Khamzat when he says that he indeed plans to be very active as a champion?
I mean, talk is cheap, man. You look at his schedule and it hasn't been active, and he can say he's resolved all these issues. Until I see him on more than one fight card a year, to me, he's out of sight, out of mind, man. And then when, like his last fight, I'm really excited about it. I didn't really care for the performance. So, out of sight, out of mind, especially if you're not entertaining me while you fight.
Oof, harsh words. Okay, so let's see. We got some other comments here. Khamzat and Nas are going to refuse to fight because of regional politics. Nas? Who do you mean by Nas? I mean like
religious politics, regional politics.
Are you saying somebody's name for short here? I don't know who. Sorry, I'm like, you're not talking about what's his name? Nasruddin Imavov. Oh yeah, Nas. That's Nasruddin Imavov. Sorry, I got confused. No, they're not gonna. What are you talking about? You think that they're actually not gonna fight because of that? Or are you trolling? Okay, Kevin Holland, his fight just got booked. Wait, who's Kevin Holland fighting? I want to see that. And when is he fighting? Tehran always knows this. Western says, God, I'd love to see Usman beat. Wait a minute, Western, you're not a fan of Islam? Why do you want to see Usman beat Islam? I'd be down to see that fight, but I definitely want to see Islam establish his legacy. Khamzat at 205 would be interesting. I think Khamzat smashes everybody at 205. I think he's way more skilled than everybody at 205, with the exception of Alex Pereira in terms of, because he's got the differential, excuse me, in the striking, but I think Khamzat smashes everybody. Pern says, I believe Gaethje beats interest, or Tehran says, I believe Gaethje beats interesting. Tell me why. Why do you think that? And then Pern says, Piotr Jan. Okay, 10-7 says Khamzat will never be able to make 170 again. And bro got 20 million from the Dubai King. He's lying. He's lying about what? What about why 170? No, I think he's going to go up to light heavyweight. And then, wait, I don't know what. Wait, let me know who you're talking about. 10-7. I'm a little bit confused. And then Western, clarified. Nas is Nasruddin. Sorry. Khamzat said no already. Basically, did he really? Okay, that's weird. I did not know that. Oh wow. Baysanger said that Khamzat doesn't want him to fight Nasruddin Imavov. Okay, well, I guess we shall see. Okay, that's news to me. That's a bummer because I think that'd be a good fight. I think Khamzat smashes him, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, back to Khamzat moving up to light heavyweight. If he moves up, if he fights Alex Pereira, how do you see that fight going down, Justin?
Man, Alex wrestling defense has gotten so good, and I think he's such a smart fighter. His fight IQ is off the charts. I think what Khamzat does is it's very basic. He's just really good at basics with his wrestling. What's that? Yeah, his fundamentals is it's not like, to me when I watch him. That's why I don't get excited about him, just because his technique is just so basic, but he's just so good at the basics and getting on top and being heavy. That's just not exciting for me. And I think somebody like Alex Pereira has a chance to watch him, see what his tendencies are, and be able to break it down, man. And a lot of guys have tried to take down Alex now, and I mean, it's been tough for him. And Alex is going to probably be the bigger man too.
He might be bigger. I could see that, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be, look what he did to DDP. Do you think DDP's takedown, do you think Alex's takedown is better than DDP's when DDP has been training that much longer?
I mean, it's hard to say, man. It just, DDP looked like shit. And it was, regardless of, is DDP's skill level as good as Chimaev's? Obviously it's not, but when I look at DDP, I don't think exceptionally skilled. I just think he's gritty, he's tough, and he has good gas tank.
I guess I'm just saying, I feel like because Alex is going to be at such a disadvantage. Now, of course, he could clip him. He could beat him up. He could take out his legs. I don't know. He could do different things. But the thing is with Khamzat, he's so skilled in the striking. I just think that it's going to be a very favorable matchup. And I think that's why he's called out Alex Pereira like 25 times. So, Tehran says Holland is fighting Jeff Neal. That's lit. That's a lit fight. What do you think? Who do you think gets it? I think Kevin Holland gets it.
I think Kevin Holland does too.
Jeff Neal just got spinning elbow KO'd, right, by Lerone Murphy. I think, right? Yeah. Am I mixing? No, not by Lerone Murphy, by Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates. No,
Lerone Murphy's one of the fighting nerds.
Yeah. Carlos Prates, I think, had the spinning elbow on him and knocked him out. I think I was at that fight. I can't remember. 10-7 says Dagestan versus Chechnya is very volatile right now. I didn't know that. Nasruddin Imavov won't directly call him out. Khamzat really will move to avoid it. Wow. This, man, how are politics now getting in the mix here? That's crazy. 10-7 is saying Khamzat got $20 million from the Royals in Dubai. He can also never be triple champ. No. 10-7. I'm not saying he's going down to welterweight. I'm saying something crazier. I'm saying he's going to go up to heavyweight at the end of his career and become a triple champ that way. So you might think that's even dumber, but I believe it. I said that from the get-go. Dude, he's still young. He's like 31 or 32. So he's still going to get bigger and bigger as he progresses up. And then I think he's going to be so skilled. Like, imagine Khamzat versus, I love Salsa Boy. I think he's awesome. Imagine Khamzat versus Salsa Boy. There's just such a skill differential. Even, I think Khamzat smashes Tom Aspinall one day. Now, I'm not saying right now, but if he puts on the size and puts on the muscle the right way, I think he annihilates Tom Aspinall. But that's my opinion. Yeah. Anna Kinsky says he subs Ali. Oh, yeah. So 10-7 agrees thinks he would get destroyed at heavyweight. I disagree, but that's my take. And, I guess we shall see if that happens. Pereira versus Khamzat. That's such a good fight, dog. That's so good. They're both such big stars, so we shall see. Okay, we got a nice little positive story in the mix. Did you hear about this, Justin?
I did.
Louisa texted it to us.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor apparently got married finally to his longtime fiance. I'm sure with the heavy prenup. It's that timer thing is going off. Hold on. I hate this new feature. He got married to Dee Devlin, his longtime fiance, and they finally got married. I wonder if this says anything. They got married at the Vatican Church. He did the Ibogaine treatment. He got off all the substances, apparently. Then footage of him emerges in his pub with Mike Tyson. Seemed pretty likely to be intoxicated. I don't know if it's a fact. Did you see the video of him all tweaked out? So I don't know, man. And look, it's not even, I shouldn't even be laughing because addiction is a horrible thing and it's probably wreaking havoc on his life and his family and stuff like that. So it is a really sad thing. I guess people just think it's funny because Conor is so funny when he's animated. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's really sad. But we see maybe he's gone back on something. But then we see this. We see him settling down and finally marrying Dee. Does this bode well? The fact that he did the Ibogaine treatment, maybe he's had a bit of a relapse, maybe not. But now he's getting married. He's trying to settle down and really be grounded. Does this bode well, in your opinion, as a fellow fighter, for Conor finally making it to the UFC White House card?
I mean, he's doing all the right things. I mean, you can't take that away from him. He's trying to at least put on a positive persona. Whether it's true or not could be a different story. And here's the thing, man. I mean, if he's trying to put on like this mask, I mean, unfortunately, he's going to get busted. You know what I mean? If he's trying to put on this good guy appearance in the public to try and get on the card. But, I mean, if he actually doesn't change, I mean, with how everyone's videotaping him at all times, like he's going to get busted. So here's another thing where I hate to say, but time will tell.
Is it at this point they can't make Conor headline the White House card? It's ridiculous. Even I'm a big Conor fan, but they can't do it now. Even as big of a star, it's ridiculous. We have so many cool things happening in the sport right now. We have Islam doing the double champ thing. You know, Khamzat's doing his thing. We just had, well, unfortunately, Merab has fallen off, but like, it's just he's had too much time away. They can't do it, right? Like maybe he'll be co-main or like third fight on the card, even though it sounds a little weird that Conor's such a right. But you agree with me, right?
I agree. I don't think he'd be the main, but I think he's so ego driven he won't take a co-main spot. So I just don't see him on the White House card.
I think he'll take a co-main, or I think he'll even take the third fight down. Dude, what has he got to say at this point? Somebody said he's won one fight in 9 years. In the last
something crazy like
true.
that.
I think like at this point, he's going to be humble enough to be like, all right, look, I'll take what I can get. I want to be a part of history, and it is what it is. Okay, I know we got a lot of comments here. People are calling me out or you out. I'm not sure, so we're going to respond to this. Western thinks I'm crazy. He says he'll never be big enough for Aspinall. Hey, look, man, it's just my thought, and I guess time will tell. We'll see. But you see how fighters move up over the – now, I know – I get what you're saying from the perspective of, dude, the guy was once a welterweight. How is he going to make heavyweight? You could be right, and I could be totally, off of it. But if he's about to move up to light heavyweight, he's one step away. He could be like a lighter heavyweight, but he's going to be – the skill differential is going to be so great. I think he could do some damage there, but we shall see. Khamzat could out-kickbox Tom Aspinall right now. Triple champ is a good – thank you, okay? Thank you. Somebody agrees with me. I appreciate it. Kevin Ioli was on a live stream and I threw him out and he dismissed it so hardcore. And I think he made me feel like I was totally just out of it, but I think so. I don't know what Western is saying no way to you about Justin. I'm not sure. Imagine a 250-pound Khamzat. Yo, imagine if he got big. It'd be insane. The wrestling would be ridiculous. Are you saying, Western, are you saying I'm high or Justin's high? Let me know, because I think we both could be high. I grow fighting. Man, Tom is just a big old meathead. So you're not a fan of Tom Aspinall. Tell me more and tell me why. 250-pound is scary. I mean, sure, it is. All right, wait, let me hear 10-7's take. Brother, he's a toothpick. Khamzat. Yeah, maybe now. He's got clipped by Gilbert Burns. Yeah, but that was before. He's looking big at, what's it called, middleweight. He's not wrestling Curtis Blades. I saw Justin laugh. Ask him about Khamzat as heavyweight. Go ahead. Tell me. I mean, am I crazy?
I mean, there's nobody in the world that can beat Khamzat, according to Zeta. So when he starts making these bold accusations, he's going to go up to heavyweight and be the champ. It just makes me laugh because there's nobody in the history of the sport that could beat Khamzat.
Okay, fair enough. Puts it in perspective. Yeah, I'm definitely biased towards him. I'm biased towards him because I've seen all the crazy things he's done. It's not like he's my boy or he's my brother and I'm just biased. Like I'm biased because I'm like been blown away as a Khamzat fan over the years. But okay, fair enough. We'll table that for now. When he puts on a bunch more weight at heavyweight, except right now he starches. Oh, you think he starches him right now? I like I grow fighting. I think we see eye to eye here. Thank you. He's the most popular. Oh. I Grow Fighting is also Justin. Let's go. Conor will be. Wait, I Grow Fighting says Conor will be on the White House. LOL. Wait, you don't think he's even going to show up? He's been saying he wants to be on it. He's still a big star. I think people would still tune in. Him and Mike Chandler, maybe like the third fight of the. Yeah, you hate it.
I'd rather see Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz 3.
Hey, Fight Society shouted us out in a live stream yesterday. Oh, that's amazing. What did they say? I hope they say good stuff. Yo, no way. Wait, YouTube, I Grow Fighting. Oh, you got a YouTube channel, I Grow Fighting. Let's go. Wait, I Grow Fighting says triple treat from Pizza Hut is $19.95. 250. Let's go. Yeah. Wait, what? Stop it. Islam versus Conor in the White House. Yo, today's show is a lot of fun. I'm like never laughed this hard. Fight Society shouted us out. Oh, I was in the chat, but then I shouted y'all out. Oh, hey, double 10-7 shout out on Fight Society. Thank you 10-7. How cool is it that we have this nice relationship with the other 10-7? I think it's very cool. I think it will be Diaz versus Conor. Whoa. Why do you say that?
That's what I want to see.
That's what Justin wants. I want to see Chandler personally. You'll laugh now. I said Alex versus John. Really? The legend. I love it. I love Alex versus John Jones. Okay, hold on. We got one more topic. We got to finish, and then me and Justin have to get to weigh-ins. Last but not least, your boy. Your boy's back in the mix. Justin came up on the scene with Jamal Hill in Michigan, so they know each other pretty well. He's having mad beef right now with Ariel Helwani. Oh, dang it. I had the clip queued up. And when my Wi-Fi went out, it went away. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. But anyways, I'll give you guys a little bit of the backstory. So, hey, did you hear about the Jamal Hill, Joanna Jacek thing?
Yes.
Okay, so it's about that, and obviously Ariel Helwani like hates Jamahal Hill because Jamahal Hill hates Ariel. You know, they've gone back and forth. Jamahal Hill calls him all these things. So of course, when Ariel reacted to this whole story, Jamahal Hill got pretty pissed off, had something to say about it, as you would expect. So beef is brewing. I wonder if Ariel's going to respond on Monday. We shall see. But let me cue up the clip from Jamal's channel. And wait, Louisa said I froze again. Oh no, she said never mind.
You're not. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not frozen mine.
Jamahal Hill personally. So let's get your take on Jamal's reaction to Ariel and his crew talking about this whole ordeal. Check it out.
Oh boy.
Enlighten me.
All right,
what is
60
happening
seconds
here?
or less. So we saw the clip that looked like it was.
No, we didn't see anything.
The clip came out on Saturday night. It looked like it was in someone's shirt pocket. You couldn't really see much, and it appeared to be Joanna versus Jamahal Hill, and Jamahal Hill was like, "I'll knock you the fuck out," and she was like, "Oh yeah, you will." And like we really didn't know what was going on. There was rumors that it was she had threatened Jamahal Hill's girlfriend. That turns out that is not true. Jamahal Hill's girlfriend wasn't even there. We get a video release.
Right off the back, disingenuous. Misquoted me intentionally. What I said was, if you touch my girl, then this would happen, right? I didn't just hurl threats out at her. Then there was, but there was rumors of this, and just disingenuous, just completely disingenuous. There was rumors that he threatened his girlfriend, which turned out to be a lie. How is that a lie? You can hear it in the video. Even in the video, the first video that came out, you can hear her call my girl a bitch if you listen to the video. And now with another clip you can see the moment she started threatening my girl and myself, telling her she would bash her head into the table. Now, as you can see, this before, I'm standing there calmly talking. You see her smack her hand? Listen. That's her saying she's gonna smash my girl's head.
All right, so that's the clip. I mean, he's right, unless he's totally misleading us on what she was actually saying with the. She's like, "Yo, give me a high five," right? No, I doubt it, but I believe him, and I think he's right. And at the same time, dude, if somebody threatens your girl or somebody threatens, it's not your mom or your sister. It's not about. Like, you know what I mean? You just protect people. We have the right to protect people regardless of anything. So I get what Jamahal Hill's saying. I get his frustration. But anyways, let me turn it over to you, somebody who came up with Jamahal Hill, who knows Jamahal Hill. Do you have a reaction to how heated he's getting, in particular with respect to Ariel and the crew, the way they characterize things? They didn't mischaracterize it.
Yeah, I mean, Jamahal Hill's a no bullshit kind of guy. Like, he's going to go to bat for, like, he doesn't care if it's a girl or a guy. Like, if you threaten his family, you threaten his loved ones, like, he's going to knock you out. So, I mean, this video isn't surprising by any means. Jamal is a character. He's a great guy, and he's a great guy to have on your side. And it just goes to show the loyalty he has. Like, you have Joanna, I'm going to smash your chick's head, your chick's head on the table. And, hey, you front off, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. And that's not surprising to hear Jamal say something like that.
On top of it, he made the point later in the video. He's like, dude, she's a professional fighter. My girl is not. My girl's a model. She doesn't know how to fight. She comes in the PI all the time. They're in the women's locker room. I'm not there. He's like, I had to draw a hard boundary. Like, anybody who disagrees with that, you should just put yourself in that situation. Imagine like somebody threatening your mom. You don't think you're going to draw a hard boundary regardless of who they are? It doesn't matter. You're going to protect that person. You're going to say, hey, I'm not messing around. You cross this line, there's going to be a problem. Whether or not he's meaning whatever he's saying is secondary, but he has to draw a hard boundary to protect his girl. So, like, I totally understand it. And I do think, I mean, it's another instance of Ariel and the boys, like, they don't like Jamahal Hill, right? And you can't totally blame them either. It's hard to be unbiased against somebody who's come after you. Jamahal Hill's gone after them. So, like, I guess like you can kind of understand why there's just this inherent bias that they can't escape. But anyways, they did him wrong. He set the record straight. But now I'm curious to see what goes down on Monday if Ariel's going to respond. And I think he might, because he rips on Ariel. He basically goes after him and said he's not a real journalist. And I think that's a pretty sore spot. That's a sensitive area for Ariel. So I have a feeling we're going to get to see a little back and forth. You guys, though, I do like a good beef here and there. So it's going to be entertaining. Before we end, let's read through the final comments. Anna Kinsky, a lot of comments today in the chat. We really appreciate it. Same with I Grow Fighting, both of you guys. Please join again. We love to have a lot of conversation and discourse. So, and if you guys could like the stream as well, we'd love that as well. Hill was defending his girl. I respect it. I mean, it is what it is. Safety. You have to protect your loved ones and your family. It is what it is. Joanna wanted Hill to chase her. I don't still there's no clarification as to why Joanna was threatening his girl. I still haven't gotten a good reason. It's very weird. She made that statement that didn't seem to address anything. It was very bizarre. Joanna does have that crazy in her eyes. Look, I don't know Joanna. I don't know anything about her, but this thing, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. Kojo is back. He says Jake Paul will win. Let's go. Let's go. Me and Kojo got Jake Paul. We're in this together, Kojo. I'm picking Jake Paul as well. Teron says a lot of people just don't like Jamahal Hill, and anything he says will be taken out of context. I mean, that is true. Everybody was booing him the last time he did a presser at his fight. People were booing him. Like, everybody's turned on Jamahal Hill, I think, because of the Alex Pereira drama, and people love Alex so much. So you're absolutely right. It is what it is. Teron agrees with Jamahal. Let's go. Someone needs to wife up Jamahal. JJ. Oh, JJ. You're talking about Joanna.
I heard she's a bitch, man. I've heard from a lot of friends of mine that terrible training partner and just a bitch in and out.
Okay, well, hey, Justin, Justin's on the inside. That's why you guys tune in, because we got Justin from Extreme Couture, UFC fighter, had 80 fights, 30 professional, right? Let's go. Yep. Jake Paul versus Usyk in MMA next. That doesn't really excite me. Does that excite you?
No, not really.
Nah, I want to see Jake Paul keep doing his thing in boxing. Why switch it up to MMA? I think Usyk beats him, by the way. Usyk trains Muay Thai. I want to see – stop. I don't want to talk about Clarissa Shields. Okay, I want to see. No, why is Clarissa Shields coming up? Are you a fan of Clarissa Shields?
She's from Michigan, man. I gotta support all my Michigan people, regardless. She's not a very good MMA fighter, but she's a good boxer.
Yeah, I don't know. Katie Taylor versus Ronda Rousey. I know I've heard about this. I'm not really at all interested in it whatsoever. Shout out Anakin. 10-7 says Anakin. Who's Anakin? Is Anakin in here? I'm not sure. And then Ngannou versus Wilder in boxing. I'd be down for that.
I like that. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow, Kojo's giving us a lot of these matchups. Oh, he says he hates Clarissa. Look, I'm not gonna go as far as hating her, but like, I don't know. She doesn't really interest me, and I don't know. I'm whatever. I don't want to talk smack, but Anna Kinsky. Oh, that's who you're talking about. I thought Anakin was somebody different. And did you hear about what? Stop it. Is this real? Is this real? Have you heard about this? I haven't heard
about it yet.
Wait, somebody give me confirmation. Teron, where are you at? Is this real? That's actually kind of an interesting fight.
Didn't Dan Hooker just call out?
Dan Hooker didn't call out. He's fighting BSD.
I thought he was fighting somebody else. Or who called out the Battle of the Losers? Was this that matchup?
I don't know, but it's Benoit Saint Denis versus Dan Hooker for sure. That it's heavily rumored. No way. That's a great fight. I like Moicano versus Chandler. And if they fight soon, I hope they fight soon, and then we can still potentially get Conor versus Chandler. I don't know. I like that fight. Wait, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be co-main. That's a banger. I love it when they stack the, one division on a particular fight card. So we have lightweight and then lightweight, co-main and main. That's cool. I hope they do that. Chandler book in a different fight so Conor can take the 170. Stop, dude. This guy's so funny. It's also named Justin. Okay, guys, we got to end the show. Thank you for the lively discourse today. We've had a lot of really fun comments in the chat. This show gets more and more fun as we do it. I guess this is our last fight. Our last show leading up to a fight card for the UFC on ESPN. So it's kind of a historic day. And we close out to say thank you guys for all the support over we're almost coming up on 3 years for the show. And we're still working. We're still grinding. We're still building. And it is what it is. Listen, this place right here that we have right now, for me, I can say me personally, I'll talk about me because I know, Justin, you've been in MMA, you fought, you have Extreme Couture, you're around fighters all the time. But for me, I never had a place where I could come and talk about the sport twice a week and talk to people that know about the sport, that are interested in the sport. And it's been such a pleasure and such an honor to build this community organically and have people that we can talk to, that we can rip off of, that we can share our opinions, that people can agree, they can call us out and say we're high. All that stuff is what makes the sport so much fun. So as we end the show today, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tunes in. Some people pop in occasionally. Some people are here all the time. Obviously, I'm talking about Western. I'm talking about Pern. I'm talking about MGAL4 Productions, and more people. Of course, more people are joining in and joining Tehran. Obviously, Tehran with the most insight on what's happening in the UFC all the time. So yeah, I don't know, didn't plan to say all this, but just a heartfelt thank you to all you guys, because this community is just making the sport so much fun for me, more and more fun than it was before. So I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. And if you guys want to see the Fusion fight card, we're going to post it on the channel tomorrow, so you guys can at least watch the prelims for free. And if you want to buy the pay-per-view, you're welcome. And that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. ESPN era comes to a close after tomorrow night, and we're all moving to Paramount Plus together. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.